So I thought it'd be easier to show you through video quick here. So we have our libraries page. We go to Primo. Then we put in Saudi Arabia. What I did was I started with and education. And make sure you're always clicking that all resources. Okay. Then peer reviewed, full text online. And we go down to the dates, about 2008 or so, and we hit apply. And so the biggest thing here I'm going to show you is to be flexible. Okay, if you go in with I need to find this and this information, that's going to be a trickier search, and you might need to work with a librarian on that search. If you're flexible with where you're going to take the paper, then what I would say is look for what are the things you see the most in the articles you're looking at, right? So we go down and we see something on higher education, we see perspectives on higher education, another one, health education, a book that I'm sure if you clicked on this, I'm not going to for time right now because my computer's a little slow, but if you click on that, I bet you there's a section on education. We have schooling Islam, Islamic education, higher education again, another on higher education. So when I'm seeing this search, my first instinct is you might want to be open to focusing in on higher education because there's a lot of material on that. That doesn't mean you have to, but it might be tempting to move in that direction because you already have a bunch of articles here that could be useful, right? We have inclusive education in Saudi Arabia. That could be more general, right? That could be more than just higher. We have learning management systems, so kind of electronic environments for education. This might be the article you were seeing on women's education. And you just keep going and see what you find undergraduate. So again, higher. It seems like everything's focused on higher. So my instinct is always go where the research leads, don't fight against it. Another on universities. And if that's the case, you could search for things like higher education. You could search for university education. You could, that sort of thing. And it might help you find results. You can also keep going down there, right? You could put not higher education, though. I'm not sure how well that would work, to be honest, because it just seems like it might be a little clunky. I tried primary education and I didn't find much. So it makes me think maybe they call it something different. It might be elementary. I didn't search that. Um, but you would probably want to go back to preliminary research to figure out what it's called there to come up with the keyword for this. What I did also look for was education and gender. Also, just a note, you should always have your country name first. That kind of is the guide for the rest of the search. Make sure you're always hitting that all resources, and then your same limiters and your years. Your 2008 and apply filters. When I was looking here, there seemed to be a lot on this as well. Again, gender, but with online learning, you would want to check this book, see if there's something in there. Um, and here I think I had to scroll down a little bit, but I did find some eventually. Now I want to make note, oh, here's a medical term. If I end up having trouble, I might want to exclude medical terms. So gender differences in academic achievement. So there's a great one, right? That seems like it'd be really good. And you keep going down. Let's see. Gender differences in learning styles. Well, that's specific to medical students, so that might be a little too focused there. Same thing with gender differences in health education. Um, and if you keep going down, you might find something. Like, I bet you this book on leadership or article on leadership with women would have something on education, I would bet. Same thing here, right? Gender segregation. you just kind of look at the abstract for it and say, or the table of contents, right? And figure out um, um, if it has something on those. And you could keep going down here again, um, or you could exclude certain things. So say you're getting too many medical results, results that are medical and aren't really related. You just click on subject, you hit more, and then science and technology, you might want to X out of that, and that'll guide your search a little more, right? Or I don't know why it didn't let me do a few of these at a time. Okay. If you hit show more, and I think what you have to do actually is, well, I'm not seeing too many others here. Yeah, that's good. So, and you just kind of keep tweaking the searches like that. Another one that I found some stuff on was secondary education, and you hit all resources, and same thing, hit your limiters. And here's what I'm going to do for you too. I'm not going to do it here. Well, let me do it in a moment. I'll hold that thought. So let me get my limiters here. I know I found some stuff here on secondary education, but I think I had to eliminate some of the health stuff. Let's see. So learning critical thinking in Saudi Arabia, right? There's a possibility. See, I'm seeing some medical stuff, so that might be too much. Female secondary students and their teachers' perception of science learning. That's something that could be possible. Again, go where it, right here, improve critical thinking in secondary schools. Go where the research leads you. You're not going to find like the basic information that you found on like Wikipedia, right? So you might have to tailor it based on what you find. Here's, oh, no, that's more health related. College and secondary high school. Let's see. Yeah, I see a lot of medical stuff. So what you do in that case, you go down to subject, hit show more. You click through again. It keeps doing that. I gotta get rid of that now. Okay. Let's try this again. So we go down to subject, show more, and then I think you have to click here first, then click to exclude it. Okay, so click here, then click to exclude it. And I think once you do one or two of those, you don't have to do it anymore. So look through and say, are there any of these that you want to get out of the search, right? About health aspects, which is a little tricky, but we're going to see what it leads to. Okay, and then you hit apply filters, and it'll narrow your search a little more. All right, this should give you better results than what you got before. And yeah, there seems to be some here. And you just keep playing around until you get there. You could add gender to this. And then since you came and sought help, one thing I'll say is for this assignment where you need to find 4 academic journals, you could expand your search a little bit. Let me show you that in a moment. Sometimes when students reach out, I want to help them and be flexible as much as possible. So let's first look at this. Let's see, gender inequality, avatars and gender segregated learning. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot here. That might have been too many factors up there. So the last thing I'll say is what I was starting to say before. Say you want to focus in on secondary education. You find a couple of sources but you're struggling to find that fourth, or what you'll need is 5 for the final paper. What I'll say is, since you sought help, you can click on peer reviewed, full text, but then let's add dissertations, book chapters, journals, books, and articles. Okay, sometimes that can get you better results. Let's go to 2008 and hit apply filters. And again, I'm seeing some health things there you might want to get rid of. But there's things like this, right? So go where that research leads. If you're still struggling with it, I would recommend reaching out to a librarian. I gave you a bunch of options here, and I didn't change as many keywords. You can keep changing this, elementary, women's education, university, college, higher education. Keep trying those keywords till you find those resources you want. If you're still struggling after this, you could check back in with me or reach out to the librarian. Okay, thanks.